perception, attitude and values. In this we would majorly learn about 4 things. First is what is the concept of perception. Secondly, what is attitude and its functions. Then what is value and its types. And lastly, the Maslow theory. These are basically just psychological aspects of an organization that plays an important role in deciding the outcome that the staff will generate. Perception is a very common term that we use in our day-to-day life. It is actually a process by which individuals organize and interpret impressions in order to give meaning to the environment. This means the way in which something is assumed or seen by somebody is known as his perception of looking at it. Perception, although being a psychological process, follows hierarchical steps. So we can say that there is a particular process of perception or perceiving things, and these steps include environmental stimulus, after that attended stimulus means the stimulus to which an individual pays attention. Then is after this a certain image is formed at the retina, which is then transducted. Then comes neural processing, means the message then goes to the brain. After this we start the process of perception. Once something is perceived, we start recognition and finally action. So this is the entire process in which something is perceived and then action is related to that. Now you must be wondering that why we are studying about perception while understanding about the organization. So it is very important to know the perception of the staff so as to ensure effective results from them. So the use of perception can be understood as it is used in employment interviews, because if you ask somebody his perception on something, then it gives a clear picture about their mental state. Second, it is used while performance appraisal. Thirdly, for assessing the level of effort. And lastly, to assess level of loyalty. So, these are the 4 major uses that are drawn out of perception. Followed by perception, there comes another important aspect of behavior, which we call as attitude. Attitude is evaluative statement which is either favorable or unfavorable, because attitude can be both positive as well as negative, and it can concern objects, people, or even events. This simply means how someone feels about something. An attitude is how someone feels about something. So, it can both be favorable and unfavorable. After knowing what actually an attitude is, let's move on to the types. So, attitude basically is constituted of 3 things. One is someone's beliefs in life plays a major role in building attitude. Secondly, behavioral intentions, it again is highlighted in the attitude. And lastly, maybe the effect of something. So, these are interrelated and they play a major role in attitude formation. So, this is how someone's attitude is formed and can be understood. So, further to this, let's see what are the features of attitude in general, which can be linked with any individual. So, features of attitude. One, good thoughts. If thoughts are good, we can say that someone's attitude towards something is good. Secondly, there has to be self assurance. Third, positive comments. Fourth, gratitude. And fifth, clear goals. So, these are 5 basic features through which attitude of someone regarding something can be judged. After the features, let's see what are the basic functions of an attitude or how it can be useful. Functions of attitude. First, it is to see someone's knowledge. Secondly, it expresses the self or ego. This can again be seen through someone's attitude. Third is, it is very much adaptive. So, these are the 3 broad functions. Now, attitude is built up of some essential components without which it would remain incomplete. So, talking about components of attitudes, the basic components are affective components, plus behavioral component, plus cognitive component. The three major components that are combined to form someone's attitude is affective, behavioral and cognitive. These three combine and tell us about the different types of attitudes that can be seen in different individuals. We majorly study these attitudes in order to know about someone's level of job satisfaction. This is telling how attitude study can be used in organizational effectiveness. Second is job involvement. And organizational commitment. This is how different types of attitudes can be used for an organization. Firstly, to study the job satisfaction of the employees. Second, to know how much they are involved in their job. And third, how much they are committed towards their work. The third important aspect after attitude, we call it as values or value. It means those things that are valued by someone. Means how someone's value can be judged. It is by looking at those things to whom the person gives value. Then again, it can be of three major types: personal values, then there are organizational values, and cultural values. So these are three types in which someone's value can be studied. Apart from these three distinctions, values are oftenly categorized into terminal and instrumental categories. Now these include specific types of items that forms two categories: terminal and instrumental. Terminal includes very general values like to wish that the world is at peace. This is a very general thing. Second is to wish for someone's family security. This is again generic. Third, normal freedom. Fourth, education. Self-respect. Happiness and wisdom. And if we talk about instrumental items, it includes ambitions, broad-mindedness, capability, cheerfulness. This is somewhere a clear denotion of how the values they are carrying. Then honesty, logical and loving. So, these are two broad categories in which we can again divide values. These are more generic in nature and these are specific in nature, because this is somewhere desired by all and this is depends on individual, like how much weightage they give to which attribute. After values, a very important theory that forms a basis of the attitudinal aspect, which we commonly known as the Maslow's theory. This is basically called need hierarchy theory. This is used by managers to know the attitude of employees and how the same can be used to generate the best out of them. Herein, human needs are categorized in certain hierarchy, moving from lower to upper. So, here are the lower needs and here are the upper needs. The very basic needs are demonstrated in the lowest box, which we call the biological needs. The second level of the hierarchy belongs to safety needs, wherein the person seeks safety. Third one is the need for belonging and love. Fourth, esteem needs. And last, self-actualization needs. It is assumed that all these needs follow a hierarchy starting from biological, safety, belonging, esteem and this. So, it is seen that in this theory, one person shifts to the upper level only if the lower level need is fulfilled. So, this is the basic assumption of this theory, that one person can shift to an upper level need only if the lower one is fully satisfied.